Hello co-creators, today is day 5 of my season 1 challenge. Today I want to talk about how my emotions are affecting the challenge. I think a lot of the way I was feeling today was a result of being really tired. I stayed up really late last night talking to an old friend who is in town, and we have a joke that we only talk about once a year. And in that time that we talk, we'd stay on the phone for hours because we have to fill each other in from the last time we either talked on the phone or via email. So we stayed up a couple hours, and I didn't get very much sleep, and I had to wake up extra early today because my apartment complex wanted us to move our cars by 7 a.m. so that they can work on the roof. So I just, left for work at that time, and I usually leave at least half an hour later. And it doesn't sound like a lot of time, but half an hour is a big difference when you're a nocturnal person like I am. So in any event, I was pretty tired. I was pretty discouraged about where I am. It was like I was battling my mind all day. I kept, saying, oh my God, my bills aren't going to get paid. And then I would say, well, why are you thinking that? You know that source energy has manifested these things already. You just have to raise your vibration. And because I was about half an hour earlier than my normal routine, by the time I got to work, my chest felt tight. I felt very worried. I felt kind of like I was mentally tired from just talking to myself my whole commute in, which is about an hour, and going back and forth in my mind. So I went to our law library at work and just found a quiet spot. And I meditated for about 10 minutes, which really helped. And I read through my manifestation journal that I have. It was my kind of portable vision board. Like I have pictures in there. I have Abraham Hicks activities that I would do, and I have notes from the universe that I would print out from my email, the ones that we get emailed every day that I found to be very pertinent to what I was feeling at the time. And so I just went through that and saw that this is a pattern. I'm definitely holding myself in the same spot because I keep thinking, oh, you're bad with money, oh, things are bad. I keep repeating, like beating the same drum, as Esther and Abraham would say. So that's something I definitely want to work on, just reinforcing positive thoughts and being focused on the end result and not what I'm currently seeing. Something that I'm really excited about, I'm really encouraged by, talking to my friend last night. Like I said, I have my cafe press shop. I started back in about March or so, or was it May? I want to say it was March. And I kind of just sent an email to all my friends saying, hey, this is what I'm doing. I'm really excited. Check out my website. And unbeknownst to me, my friend who's in town, who I'm going to have dinner with tomorrow, she works at a large law firm in Atlanta, and she showed it to the partner that she works with because they have a mentor program with a inner city high school in Atlanta, and she thought it would be great for some of the kids to, wear my shirts because they are positive sayings and ways that black women and girls can improve their self-esteem. So she showed it to the partner, hoping that they can incorporate it into their mentoring program and maybe get some for the kids. And I just felt such gratitude, and I feel so much gratitude right now. I can almost start crying because, it was out of nowhere. Like I said, we talk once a year, and for the fact that she would just do that out of the kindness of her heart, even if it doesn't go anywhere, it was a really huge lesson. And it's funny how all of these things come together for you through synchronicity. I was watching Julie's video, one of Julie's videos yesterday. I think her username is like Bellavi or something like that, but she talked about how she lost her camera in Vegas, and the lesson she got out of it was that just because there are things that you want, if they're not in your reality right now, doesn't mean that they won't happen. You just can't see it. And I felt like, I watched that yesterday right before she called me, and we're on the phone and that message just comes into my head again. And so I felt really encouraged about this challenge and about the things that are going to be manifesting for this goal that I have of covering all of my bills through my business. So I really felt encouraged. Another thing that I saw was one of Lilu's videos where she said one thing that she saw from the beginning of her challenge to the end was that she really was starting to become detached from the opinions of others. And I was on a message board today that I frequent pretty frequently, and it's a closed board, so the general public can't see it, and we've kind of made friends with each other. It's a group of women in the same group. We've been on there, 5-6 years. I remember I joined when I first moved here to DC, and that was 6 years ago. So some of us were talking about some of the things that we wanted to learn that we hadn't learned, like maybe learn a different language, and some of the things that I listed, one of them was I wanted to learn how to become a makeup artist and, just do makeup for bridal parties or things like that that don't necessarily fall into my everyday activities, but there's something I definitely want to get into and add to kind of my repertoire bag of tricks. But I felt kind of guilty about that because I do have a law degree that I'm currently not using, and I do have to sit for the bar again. And it is really difficult when everyone who knows that about you, they can't really see that your vision is differently. So I get frustrated sometimes because people say, well, aren't you going to take the bar and aren't you going to start practicing? And it's like, yeah, I'm going to take the bar, but it's not a goal that I have to be in private practice or public interest or what have you. And it's frustrating to try to explain that over and over again to people and trust that the path that I've chosen is the right one and that things will work out. And I kind of won't have to eat crow later and kind of dealing with what diverging from this path that I set out for myself 4 years ago really means. So, to tie that back into Lilo's message, it was good to see that there were other women who were quote unquote professional who had these goals and aspirations that were different from the traditional path from their degree that they got, either undergrad or in grad school. And they had all of these different aspirations from that as well. So that was really uplifting. Today started really rocky, and I was glad that I was able to use some of the tools that I've gained from the law of attraction so far and to bring myself back towards the focus that I'm trying to gain. But towards the end of the day, I started going kind of haywire again because I was really bored and really dissatisfied with my job. And, I said I should just quit and just go wait tables, and the thing that would keep me from that is that I make a lot more money than I would probably if I waited tables, which I don't know, I might make more money. But I need to start trusting that things will manifest for me and the universe is aligning things for me that may be unseen right now, but just because I don't see them doesn't mean that they're not going to show up in my reality soon. So I'm about to dash off to a meeting. I need to eat really quickly, and this is probably the longest video I've done so far, but I'm really glad. I'm really in a good place, and I want to keep it going for tomorrow. So I hope getting a good night's sleep will not put me in such a negative place in the morning. So I hope you all are doing well with your challenge, and I'll be looking at what you're doing as well. Happy manifesting.